Hey everyone, I just want to give you another quick sort of the starting point for this coming week in terms of customer discovery. The things that I want to just introduce to you before you kind of get into the meat and potatoes of the rest of the material. Go back to the business model canvas real quick that we just left at the end of the last week. Um, we are going to be spending, as you can see here in the in the yellow circle, we're going to be spending a ton of time on customer discovery, which are the pieces up in the corner that are shown in the yellow, right? And what I really wanted to do is just to provide you, so first of all, when you read the material and when you watch the videos and all that sort of thing, remember these things are coming from your ideas first, right? So your idea for a product or a service or whatever, so you have some idea of an offering that you think is compelling enough to build a business around, right? So that's first and foremost. So you have that idea for a product and really what we're trying to do. And so because you have that idea for a product, you obviously think at some level, the types of people that would be interested in the product, right? And so what we're really doing here in customer discovery is again, trying to decide and figure out, is the market big enough, right? And what is it about, if I really move forward with this product, what are the things that are going to make it magical for the end user, right? Because ultimately you need them to buy the thing, right? So really, the customer discovery part is a big part of that. And so so I've got that obviously yellowed here, and more importantly, what I want to do is to talk a little bit about and share with you a different and separate canvas called the value proposition canvas that we will be using as another tool along with the business model canvas. It's a complementary tool. You'll notice it up in the red here, right, in terms of the box there and the little fellow there. Those are the same items here and here, right? And so this really just sort of compartmentalizes those pieces a little bit more and gives you an opportunity to dig deeper using a Canvas model that will help you really sort of think through the value proposition. One of the things, the things that I wanted to mention real briefly here is that you're going to be hearing about jobs, right? So when you talk about customers, you're going to hear people in presentations and so forth talking about jobs. Basically, jobs is anything that you do during the day, right? Anything anybody does on a particular day, right? And what you're trying to do is understand a person's a potential customer's jobs, the things they do during the day, where your product might serve them well, right? And so ultimately, if it and so that's part of what you're trying to do is understand that value proposition for your individual customers based on the jobs that they do during a day, right? And so again, jobs are everything you do. You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, right? You comb your hair, you have breakfast, all of those things are jobs. Okay, so think in those terms when you're really thinking about your customers. Think about all of the jobs a particular person does throughout their day, right? And where your potential product kind of fits into that. Okay, so really that's part of what I wanted just to make sure that you recognize is when we start talking about jobs, that's what we're talking about. Okay, the other thing I want you to recognize here is when you look at the business model canvas, what you're going to notice is this isn't the canvas itself is not linear, right? It's not like here's step one, then do this, then do this, then do this, right? It's a matrix, right? And so, and the reason for that is, these things, they don't happen step by step in a perfect world, right? I mean, when you're doing customer discovery, you're going to be thinking about customer segmentation. and value propositions. You're going to be thinking about customer relationships. You're going to be thinking about channels. In all of those things, while you're thinking about and doing all of those things, you might be thinking, I'm focusing on value propositions in my conversations with people, but ultimately in the back of your head, you're thinking, oh shoot, I need to think about how I'm going to distribute that, and that's a channel piece or whatever. So anyway, so don't think about these things as linear, right? The conversations we'll have are kind of about a linear approach, and here's some of the things you can do and do this way, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, the idea is you're informed at an iterative process. If there is a functional way of thinking about it circularly, not step by step, okay? Because ultimately what we're doing is going through a process that repeats itself, okay? So anyway, that's all I really wanted to do in terms of the setup for this week. I am going to introduce the value proposition canvas first in the order of things that you're going to be looking at, only because I just want to have you that in the back of your mind as you sort of look through the rest of the resources. Okay, so don't think of it as linear. Right? I'm just introducing the tool early so you can kind of get a sense of what it is. And if it doesn't make sense right away, that's perfectly fine. It will by the time you get to the end of this week. All right. Thanks.